Today I'm speaking to my friend Ed Clinkett. Now, Ed, you have a track record on projects blending technology, the UK, and development in Africa. And I think more than ever, as we get into a time most people are calling the new normal, there's a need to accelerate tech in emerging economies to help push development. How do you see that happening?
Well, Fabio, first of all, thanks for having me on. Very interesting question. There's a large demand to define what the new norm is. And I think one of the key things is for entrepreneurs and experienced individuals in technology to support innovative technology startups, whether they are in our diaspora or whether they're in Africa. I believe that we have a duty to really bring out the innovation that the continent can produce. And I think it will be the setting stone or the foundations for the new norm and what Africa will look like as a sustainable future economy.
Right. Well, obviously, funding will play a big part in that development of the development of that new reality. Now, I've heard you being a key advisor to a very interesting project, pulling the diaspora into investing and funding projects in Africa. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's a very interesting project. It's called Weka. It was founded by Benny Nguama. I hope I pronounced his name right. A fantastic, super bright individual. He came up with this concept of setting up an organization that focused squarely on pulling diasporans across the various countries of Africa to invest into startups and small businesses and projects in the continent. They've set up the platform, I guess, and the whole program based on mutual benefits. I mean, it's very much like an investment marketplace. It facilitates investments into various types of organizations. The beauty about Weka that I'm passionate about is that it really focuses on direct investment to individuals and organizations. And I think it's one of those programs that really has come at a fantastic time. I guess, COVID has created some serious problems globally, but if we really want to ensure the success or mutual success and social mobility of the continent, programs like Weka will be fundamental. So the program is essentially focused at raising funding through the diaspora network, where you can have a return on investment, but at the core of it, that return of investment has an impact value to it. So businesses on the ground need to show progress, need to show that impact benefit of what they're doing. And we currently have two, organizations that have come through a startup accelerator program called Most in Africa. These two organizations are quite innovative in the region, and Weka will be backing those as part of the pilot program.
Right, that's
so it's a good start.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's definitely, as you said, it's definitely a time for opportunities. There is definitely a silver lining when it comes to development. So I'm very, very glad to hear that. Now, you've also mentioned to me that you were working with Foundervine to bring their Startup 54 program to Mozambique. And since Mozambique is so dear to me and you, I wanted to ask you if there's been any developments. How's that coming along?
Yeah, Foundervine is a fantastic program. Right? It's one of those where it's so innovative, but it's so powerful because it focuses a lot on our community, specifically here in the UK, but fundamentally that they are an African-led or focused organization. Foundervine itself was, I guess, it started life by bringing together a few individuals in the management consulting space, and also looking at entrepreneurs and a few individuals with skills and capabilities that they could share. I mean, the core of Foundervine is to provide a mechanism or a channel to build startups. It brings together individuals that have never necessarily been together. They meet for the first time over a period of 54 hours, and the task essentially is to come up with an idea and then pitch that idea to investors. And I had the privilege of being one of the judges and investors at their last program a few months ago, and that's how I joined, and we Foundervine, and we thought about putting this initiative for Mozambique together, which is amazing because Mozambique, as you know, is going to be growing even faster than it is now, given a lot of the attractive propositions around LNG discovery, etc. But I think what I know from my experience in the territory is that there are numerous entrepreneurs, inventors, and very, very capable and bright individuals that could benefit from a program like Foundervine. You know, so far it's built 56 startups, 276 co-founders created here in the UK, and it's raised £290,000 for those initiatives. So it has a vast amount of success. And I think, you know, sharing that program and that process with Africa is going to be great, because we'll be able to bring methods that have been tried and tested in the West, adapt those specifically for Mozambique. So one of the key things that I'm looking at right now is how do we create a program that maintains the, I guess, ethos of Foundervine, but it's adapted specifically for the Mozambican territory. So we're looking at ways to create a program for entrepreneurs and potential startups, but we also cognizant that we want to make sure that it reaches as far as we can in Mozambique, not just confined to the privileged few. So it's very much a reach all program. I'd like to hit the Northern Territories, Central Territories that don't get, I guess, a lot of love from the big international world. I mean, everyone knows the capital, great, but we need to start looking inside the country. There's a lot of fantastic ideas, and I'm sure individuals that will come up with solutions that could be the next big thing to propel the continent and the country.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sure that a lot of Mozambicans are very happy to hear what you're describing just now. Well, Ed, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to catch up with you once this is all over. Very exciting news indeed about Mozambique. I hope to see you soon.
Thanks very much, Fabio. Glad to see you again. Look forward to the next one.